Hi, it's Kamon Reynolds, and it is awesome to be back into the bee yard. January 21st, this colony is a breeder queen from Corey Stevens' VSH lines, and so I have a lot of reasons to baby this colony. I'm hoping that we can make a lot of daughters off of her. I also purchased 75 queen cells from Corey Stevens, and you can see some of the cells that I drove to Missouri and purchased from him. And I always like to bring more bees into our operation to try things out, partially because I'm a beekeeper and trying new things out is what we do. But also I'm hoping that they can help us in our combat with varroa mites, and a combination of better genetics with smarter treatments is going to yield a better and healthier bee operation for us and for the bees. So let's get into this colony. As you can see behind me, I have Hive Alive Fondant Patty. I get a lot of questions on these and if they're good and what I think of them. So let's dive in and we'll talk about that as we go along. I'm actually going to leave a link down in the comments for those if you'd like to check them out, and we'll discuss those further. So nice. That is really awesome to see on the 21st. It's been a little warm. You can see what's left of some of the fondant that we put in just 4 days ago. I put in a whole one of these. Now, got to be in my bonnet. Get on out of there. It's a little early in the year for this, don't you think? That's what the bees are thinking, probably. What the heck, it's January, man. But I'm going to get in here. I'm hoping we can find the queen, and the bees have been very chippy for certain. That is a good looking bunch of bees. Now, I'm going to double check and make sure the queen, yeah, she's not on this inner cover right here. And yeah, they're a little irritable right now, wondering what's going on. So this hive, look at this, great queens, dead mites, good nutrition, the 3 keys to successful good beekeeping. So I can split this up into 6 5-frame nukes or 12 little divisions for mating nukes. I like to keep it in 5s because I like strong mating nukes, but also this one you can leave it open and make it larger or smaller, so it's really flexible. This is made by Horizontal Bees. I'll put that in the top comment below as well. So let's get into the bees, shall we? And hopefully we're seeing some good things. They were a little light on feed, and that's why I put that 2 pounds of fondant. It's actually a little bit heavier than that. I think it's, what does it say? It is 2 pounds and 4 ounces of feed, and they just wore through that in the last 4 days. But see, this is really light. That needs to be full, and there's like nothing in that at all. We're just going to anchor that there. And everything's real stiff. It's very difficult to be gentle because everything's hard to break apart. We got a little bit of food here, but not a lot. We really like to see in a colony this size no less than 3 deep frames worth of capped honey or sugar syrup, and we're not anywhere close to that in this colony. The fall flow for us this year only lasted about 5 days, and I was not a very good beekeeper. I'm going to blame hive life on it, but I did not feed my bees in fall as much as I would have liked to. And we've been quite warm, and they're running around burning resources. Now, you can look down into here and start seeing some what appears to be syrup. I guarantee you that is the fondant they have brought in, and they have added condensation and water. When we get days that are in the 60s and 50s, if you pay attention and follow your bees, I have a pond right across the fence over there. We have puddles that gather, and there will be bees in January, December bringing in water. It's one of the first things they do after taking a cleansing flight. And especially if there's sugar bricks in there, mountain camp sugar, or anything like that, that's what the bees are up to. So that's good that they're putting a little bit of weight in these combs. These bees definitely need a little bit more smoke. I like the fondant. It's great. One of the things I like about it better than the sugar bricks or the other feeds is the fact that it's very quick, not only for the beekeeper to use, but it's also very quick for the bees to take in. It's a lot softer and a lot easier. Sugar bricks take a lot of work. Hey, there's a little bit of brood here. You can see some pretty old bees Look at that capped brood right there, just a little bit in the center. That's a good sign. Halfway decent amount of bees here. Oh, there she is, number 74. And again, that's made by Corey Stevens, and you can check that out down in the link below. This colony looks like it's in good shape. I'd like to see it a little bit bigger, and it probably would have been had I given them more nutrition. It's amazing the difference. As I'm going through the yard, and I find these colonies that have boxes on top that make you grunt when you pick them up, those colonies almost always have more bees in them by at least 2 to 3 frames of bees. It's because during that fall period of building up for that winter cluster, they were able to brood with reckless abandon because they knew they had enough resources to do so. And if the bees have to hold back a little bit nutritionally, they're going to go in with a smaller cluster. But I'm really anxious to see how she and her daughters perform. Again, you can see that fondant where it has added liquid to the edges. I have another bee in my veil. So we are going to add more feed because this colony is definitely worth the expense. That's really the only issue I have with the fondant at all. The product works really good. The bees do like it. It's a little bit expensive compared to sugar bricks or something like that. It depends on where you get this from, but it's probably going to cost somewhere around $3 to $5 a pound, depending on if you pick it up, ship it, how much you're ordering, and that kind of stuff. Perhaps if you have a bakery nearby, you can get straight fondant. This also has the Hive Alive mixture in it, which could be good. It has the thyme and a few other things in it. So let's throw all this back together, and I'm going to show you how we apply it. And whoo, there's a bee crawling right up my neck. You know what? I got stung twice yesterday on the kneecap, and then once on the neck, and I really didn't mind. The smell of the colony and the smell of the smoker was so welcome, and even the stings weren't a big deal. Of course, I don't swell anymore or itch from the stings, so that helps a lot. So we're just going to take this right here, and I'm going to, this is a new sharp hive tool, and I'm just going to cut an X right across, and then we are just going to do the same right here, and hopefully I scored that center good enough. Yeah, and we're just going to pull this back just like this. And I'm sure there's other ways to do this. My son Jimmy, I guarantee, would eat this. He eats pollen patties though, so it's not too surprising. And we are just going to smoke those bees down, fold this flat back, and put that right over the center of the cluster, just like that last one. And so they work really good, and it doesn't matter how cold it is. As far as Tennessee weather goes, I was actually getting into some of the hives. We had a really cold period right before Christmas. It was getting below zero, highs of only like 2 or 3 degrees Fahrenheit, which is very unusual for us, especially in December. And I was popping into some beehives, and you're not supposed to technically do that. They're still alive, still doing good. You know, we can kind of reseal them a little bit, but honestly, big bees do pretty darn good, especially here in Tennessee. So variables wherever you are. So just because I do it doesn't mean you should do this in Canada. However, tough bees and strong bees are pretty healthy. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm looking forward to showing you more about this VSH hive, and we'll see you in the next one.